Welcome to Jason in the Kitchen. Today we're going to be making Klabasnek, or sausage rolls, with cheddar cheese. Alright, let's get started with our dough. We're going to make our dough for our Klabasnek. So I have 1 package of yeast that has been bloomed in a 1/4 cup of warm water. Then I've got 1 cup of warm milk, 4 tablespoons of melted butter that's been cooled to warm, 2 large eggs, 5/8 cup of sugar, which is 125 grams, 1 teaspoon of salt, and I've got 4 3/4 cup of flour. Okay, so the yeast is ready. So with the paddle attachment, I'm going to add all the ingredients except for the flour on low speed. Got our warm milk. Melted butter. Our eggs. Salt. And sugar. We're going to mix this until it's well combined, and then I'm going to switch to the dough hook and we're going to add in our flour. Alright, now we're going to add our flour. We're going to add half, let that mix, and then add the other half. And this is why I like to use a paper plate. You can use paper towel or parchment paper. Makes it real easy to feed into your mixer. So we're going to wait till this is combined, then we're going to add the rest of the flour. If you get flour built up around the sides, just turn off your mixer and scrape down the sides with a spatula. And then start it back up. Okay, I turned the speed up to medium, and then I turned it up to high, and let that run until the dough balls together and comes away from the sides clean. And then what you're checking for here is to make sure the gluten is strong enough. So you're going to do a little tug, make sure it stays together like that, and now you know your dough is ready. Alright, so what I've done is kind of work the dough around in my hands like this. You could do it on the countertop as well. And I just made a smooth dough ball out of it, putting it into another bowl. You can leave it in the same bowl if you'd like. Really don't even have to shape it like that, but I do. And then we're going to wrap this in plastic, and we're going to let it sit out on the counter until it's double in size. That should take about 1 to 2 hours. And then we're going to refrigerate it overnight, or at least 4 hours, but I'm going to do it overnight for the best flavor. And then we'll be back in the morning and we'll finish it up. Alright, our dough is covered. I'm using plastic wrap. You can use a damp towel. You can put a pan over the top, whatever you have to cover it. Alright, it's the next morning. So last night, after the dough rose for 2 hours, I pushed it down and reshaped it into a ball, and then refrigerated it overnight, and look how well it's risen again. So now we're going to portion these into dough balls that are going to be 2.5 ounces each, or about 71 grams a piece. Alright, I've got my scale set to grams because I prefer grams over ounces. So these need to be about 71 grams a piece. And we're going to get about 15 kolaches out of these, or kolaches, Klabasnek. All right, so we got 90 there, so we need to cut it down a little bit. Then you just cut until you get your proper weight. All right, 71. Here we go. There's one. So I'll keep doing this and then we'll be back when I'm finished. All right, so I ended up getting 17 at 71 grams, and then one that's a little more than half of the 71 grams. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna roll these up. You just take your ball like that, cup your hand like this, and you're gonna roll it. I'm just gonna stick a little bit to the table as you're rolling, and that's gonna tighten it, make it a nice ball. See, just like that. Make sure you pinch the bottom if there's any openings, and we're gonna pinch it back down. Okay. And then I'm putting it straight onto a sheet pan with a Silpat. I love these, but you can use parchment paper if you'd like. Works just as well. So I'm going to roll the ball again. Pinch it up. Same way that you do when you do pizza or bread rolls or anything like that. Same technique. I'm going to come in a little closer now so you can see better. Maybe you roll that. Just roll it. Don't push down too much, just enough to where you can feel it rolling into a ball and that skin on the dough tightening up. Good. All right, I'm going to finish up with the rest of these dough balls and we'll be back. All right, all of our dough balls are ready. I went ahead and separated them on 2 separate sheet pans. Now we need to cover these for 15 minutes. You can cover these with plastic wrap, damp towels, or cover them with another sheet pan. So we'll be back in 15 minutes. All right, it's been 15 minutes. And while our dough is resting, I sliced some sausage. I've got pork kielbasa here. You can use whatever sausage you like. I cut them in half and then in half lengthwise. And then I had some shredded cheddar left over from our tacos from last night. And so we have shredded cheddar. You can use whatever cheese you like. You can also add jalapenos, either sliced fresh or pickled. You can put other fillings in here too, like my brother and his family, they like ham and cheese instead of sausage and cheese. So you can mix it up a little bit. So what we're going to do is we're going to take one of our dough balls and we're going to push it out with our fingertips. Flatten it out until you get it big enough to put the sausage in and wrap it up. Okay, that looks good. So we're going to put the cheese down. Don't put too much or it won't close. Okay, now we're going to put our sausage down. Okay, we're going to pull up, meet it halfway, and we're going to pull the other side up and over the sausage as well. Pinch it together, and we're going to close our sides. Make sure nothing's sticking out. Make sure it's nice and smooth. And there you have it. So put it seam side down. And then we're going to continue with the rest of our dough until we're ready. Okay, called in the cavalry, had my son Jason help roll the rest of these so we can get them done quicker. Now we ran out of sausage for the last two, so last night we had some skirt steak to make tacos with, so we had some leftover meat for today, so I put leftover skirt steak in two of these. So like I said, you can use whatever kind of filling you want, and these what kind of meat filling. Alright, so now we're going to cover these again, and we're going to let them rest for 20 minutes, and then we can put them in the oven. So now is a good time to heat your oven to 375. Clean up, remember, clean as you go, and then we'll be back to put them in the oven. Alright, it's been 20 minutes. I've went ahead and brushed these with some egg wash, just some egg beaten up with a splash of water. That's not in the recipe, but it'll give it a nice color. So now we're going to bake these at 375 for 25 to 30 minutes until they're golden brown. Remember, your sausage is already cooked, at least the one I'm using is already cooked, so we don't have to worry about that. We just have to worry about browning the outside and heating up the filling. So we'll be back when we take these out of the oven. Now, I know you're tempted to eat them right away, but you got to let them rest for a little bit, probably about 20 minutes, because they're going to be hot inside with that sausage grease and everything, so you got to let them cool down a little bit, plus you got to let the bread set. Alright, couldn't wait any longer. It's been about 15 minutes. Cut into one. Look how good that looks. Can't wait to try these. So these are our sausage and cheese Klabasnek, or you could call them sausage rolls. Growing up, I mistakenly referred to these as sausage kolaches too, but these aren't a kolache. Kolache refers to the fruit-filled pastries. You know, being from a background on my dad's side of Czech and Polish and German, these are from Czechoslovakia. We got a large population of Czechs here in Texas, so they are Klabasnek, not sausage kolache, or you can refer to them as sausage rolls. But either, whatever way you call them, they're good eating. These are a Texas staple. So we're going to enjoy these. I encourage you to make some on your own, or find a good Czech bakery close by and try them out if you've never had one before. Thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe to videos, and we will see you next time. God bless you.